Every candidate has called for change. Well, we're going to have to do is how do you handle that change? What kind of change? But I'm pleased that there is that on the agenda now, change for the Labour Party from the last 2 decades.
That doesn't conjure in my mind words like purge or, won't serve under, or any of these other phrases.
That was rather nonsense. I'm glad they've withdrawn them now, and they're talking about, we'll work whoever is elected. I thought that kind of abuse...
Do you think that's true?
Well, I don't know. I'll wait and see. But the abuse was
Come on, you know the Labour Party well enough to know. Is it a reality?
I don't know if they're saying that. Look, I challenged a couple of them who said they were going to set up a new group, make a statement, right, and challenge them. Within a couple of days, they've announced, no, it's not a new group.
I think that was the day...
the leader.
That was the day you told Tristram Hunt he should go back to academia.
Well, I didn't say go back. I said he's an academic. It's not exactly the same thing.
Better than a spad. Isn't the Labour Party full of old special advisors and the rest of it?
Oh, yeah. Old special advisors. Any of the advisors. I'm an old man at the moment, but I don't think you should abuse any of the candidates, and that's what's gone on. I mean, Tony talking about have a heart transplant if you were considering voting for a certain candidate.
Well, you've been on the Andy Burnham phone bank. Now, what's that been like?
Well, there were to whole, I noticed, the ones I had, so they did know me when I rang. But we're getting the...
Well, they didn't believe it was you?
No, they did recognise my voice.
And I bet you told you, we'll vote for Andy Burnham to get you off the line.
No, they didn't, because they didn't say they were going to vote for Andy Burnham. Some of the students, so they said other candidates, or they would give him the second vote. And as you know, the distribution in those votes between 1 and 2 is quite important.
Well, that's critical. I wanted to ask you about that, because there are, we're certainly coming across a fair number of people who have put Jeremy Corbyn as a second preference to Andy Burnham. Now, obviously, if Andy Burnham fell out of the count and Corbyn needed a few more votes, he'd get them.
Well, I think there's always...
So what would your advice be to people in their second vote?
Well, I say I'm voting for one person, quite frankly, and that's Andy. I think he's the best man to deal with it.
You haven't put a second preference?
No, I haven't. I want to make sure that I believe it's Andy, and at the end of the day, that's where it really matters. With Jeremy, as I told him when I said I supported him coming in to improve the debate, by God, that certainly happened, didn't it? But I had made it clear, I don't think he was a leader.
Let's take one example of one of the things he said.
Yep.
He wants to discuss the future of Trident. Now, it turns out that there are a lot of people in this country who have very real reservations about Trident, and we never like to discuss it.
Well, we discussed it in Cabinet. I came out against it because they said, who is the enemy when we want to spend £100 billion on...
So you're with Jeremy Corbyn on Trident?
It's not Trident. I mean, whether Jeremy Corbyn came in...
Are you?
You're asking me my views, are you? And I say...
Well, it works. Well, we want to know.
Hang on. You're asking me, aren't you? What I say, change involves a lot of things we didn't talk about. One of them was Trident, even the nuclear argument, and other things, immigration. We looked the other way. We didn't debate, and the public didn't trust us. Now, if every candidate believes in change, then let me say, let us debate it openly so people can see what those views are. Don't let's be scared of having that debate. In the last decade or so, we've been scared to say some of these things, largely because what the press will do to it and probably influence. But my question about Trident is this, and this is the big issue. It's whether you spend another 30 billion on Trident when the hospitals want 30 billion. That's a legitimate argument about public expenditure and
it's a Jeremy Corbyn argument.
He's one of the arguments he's put it forward. Yeah, it doesn't make me. As I said to Jeremy, I don't support it. I want somebody who's got experience, got the courage, and the ability, and can unite the party, and that's Andy.
This is very interesting because it means that Jon Prescott has not been lying awake at night fretting about whether there's going to be a discussion about Trident or about getting out of NATO. I mean, these are things. These things are worth discussing.
Absolutely, it's critical because we didn't discuss them. We fudged it. We avoided it. I think the electorate.
Everything you've said to me makes me think you really are a closet Corbyn voter.
No, I've worked with Jeremy. He's not as bad as they talk about, but I don't want him as the leader of the Labour Party because we have to have unity. We need unity in the Labour Party and we need to get the electorate. I don't think Jeremy can bring all those things together.
Jon Prescott, thank you for talking with us.